And now, a fireside chat with the creators of Comedy Central South Park, Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
Hi, I'm Trey Parker.
And I'm Matt Stone.
And this here's Old Scratch.
Say hi, old fella. We do a show called South Park.
Matt and Trey, tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Well, I met Matthew at the University of Colorado, where I was going to film school. I actually met him in beginning filmmaking class. I met him and found someone who could make me laugh, even when I felt like crying.
Guys, who would you say are your role models?
Well, I think I'd have to say my biggest role model is Matt.
And I guess I'd have to say mine is Theodore Roosevelt for his work with the Rough Riders in the Spanish-American War.
Matt and Trey, tell us about this episode.
This episode is called Cartman Gets an Anal Probe, and it's our favorite episode. In it, Cal's baby brother Ike gets abducted by aliens, and Cartman has strange things implanted in his ass.
I think that the reason that this episode is, well, Old Scratch's favorite anyway, is because it's the only episode that Matt and I animated completely by ourselves. You see, this was the pilot episode, done before we had a series, so Matt and I had to do the whole thing by ourselves. For several months, we were locked into a cold, dark, little room for long periods of time.
You know, that Kick the Baby game looks like fun. Have you guys ever played it personally?
Well, neither Trey or I have children.
That's right. The only family we have is each other and Old Scratch here.
We're not married yet.
We can't even get dates. But the truth is, until we have children, we're not going to know whether or not we're going to kick them.
You guys seem to write alien encounter material with a certain, knowledge. Have either of you actually ever been abducted?
Trey, it's okay. Go ahead and tell.
I grew up very near to South Park, and so I was abducted when I was a small child. I remember the experience. I remember how horrible it was. I remember too much. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Cartman Gets an Anal Probe. I know a certain kitty who's sleeping with mommy tonight. That is a hoot and a holler.
This next episode is by far our favorite. It's called Volcano. In it, the boys go camping with Stan's Uncle Jimbo and his friend Ned. While camping, they encounter a strange creature and a deadly volcano.
I think the reason that this episode is, well, Scratch's favorite anyway, is because it deals with an issue that is really important to Matt and I. You see, we grew up in the Colorado Rockies, and there, black bear hunting is illegal. Well, a few years ago, a man shot a black bear and her 2 cubs out of a tree. When taken to jail, the man said, well, they were coming right for us. But he'd shot the black bears out of a tree, so it was ridiculous. That's not funny.
What America's really dying to know is there really a scuzzlebutt?
People have to understand, these are all works of fiction. There's no such thing as aliens, there's no such thing as Scuzzlebutt, and there's no such thing as Patrick Duffy.
What happened to Ned to cause him to speak the way he does?
Well, Ned is actually our favorite character in all of South Park. He had a laryngectomy from smoking too much and got throat cancer. So now he talks like this. I guess we can all take a lesson from Ned. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Volcano. Oh, hello. I'm Trey Parker.
And I'm Matt Stone.
And this here's Old Scratch. Say hi, old fella. This episode of South Park is called Weight Gain 4000. By far our favorite episode. It's all about Kathy Lee Gifford coming to South Park and Eric Cartman trying to beef himself up for the big day.
Exactly how much weight does Eric Cartman gain in this episode?
Well, after Eric Cartman starts eating the Weight Gain 4000, he gains 700 pounds. That makes him almost as heavy as Sally Struthers.
Has Kathy Lee Gifford ever offended you in some fashion? Was she flattered by her depiction here?
Well, we don't really care because Kathy Lee Gifford is a
Very wonderful woman. Both Trey and I really, really respect her work with Regis.
Guns and bullets seem to be a recurring theme in South Park. Have either of you ever killed anyone?
I would never kill somebody unless they pissed me off.
Guys, why do you keep killing off poor Kenny? What did he ever do to you?
Well, Kenny is definitely our favorite character. And even though he is our favorite character, we feel we have to kill him in every episode. And this is one of our favorite deaths in this one.
How does someone create a show like South Park and remain as pure and wholesome as you both appear to be?
You know, everyone thinks that in order to do South Park, we must be wild, crazy rock and roll stars. But the truth is, we're just wholesome middle American guys. We enjoy soda pop, baseball, and beating up old people just as much as anybody. So now sit back, relax, and enjoy Weight Gain 4000.
Oh boy.
Beefcake.
I'll tell you.
That is a hoot and a holler.
This next episode is definitely both Trey and I's favorite episode. It's called Big Gay Al's Big Gay Boat Ride. In it, Stan finds out that his dog Sparky is a homosexual.
How did your preoccupation with homosexuality develop?
Well, we have noticed that America definitely has a preoccupation with gayness. But we felt there was a part of homosexuality that has been left unexplored, and that's animal homosexuality.
I know people are curious about the two of you, too. Are you guys, a couple, if you know what I mean?
You mean, are we gay?
Yeah.
Well, I am a little.
I guess we're all a little gay.
Even a little scratch here.
Yeah.
You must have gotten a lot of mail on this episode. What kinds of stuff do you get in the mail from fans in general?
We have great fans and great fan mail. People write such interesting, fascinating things to us every week. Let me give you an example. Dear Trey and Matt, I like your show. That's from Tom in New Jersey.
Why does Kenny have to die so often and so horribly?
Because he's poor.
Guys, is there stuff you put into the show that's subliminal? Kind of like a little reward for the fans who are really paying attention?
Yes, we definitely feel we owe it to our hardcore fans to put hidden subliminal messages in every episode. That way they can watch the episode over and over and find something new every time.
For instance, in this episode, if you look really hard, you can find a picture of me having sex with Matt's mom.
What?
So now sit back, relax, and enjoy Big Gay Al's Big Gay Boat Ride. With the hidely-eye and the hidely-ay and the hidely-eye-lay. Hello, I'm Trey Parker.
And I'm Matt Stone.
And this is Old Scratch. Say hi, old fella. This episode is called An Elephant a Pig, but the networks had it changed to An Elephant Makes Love to a Pig, which is kind of silly because if an elephant was on top of a pig, it wouldn't be making love to it, it would be it.
Would you agree with the statement, this episode confirms that Matt Stone and Trey Parker are nothing but sick weirdos?
You know, what is so sick and wrong about two beings sharing the most intimate of moments? That's what I want to know.
Do you come at the gene splicing of DNA from personal experience?
Well, yes. I actually made Trey from splicing a tomato and a flounder.
Guys, do you have strong ethical views on whether we should tamper with nature in real life?
Well, both Matt and I think that genetic engineering is great and that everything should be spliced with everything. Why, that's the only way we're ever going to become perfect beings. Isn't that right, old Scratch? I think we should splice pigs with elephants and tomatoes with apples. I myself would like to be spliced with Fiona Apple. And so now, sit back, relax, and enjoy An Elephant a Pig.
Oh, jeez.
You should get your bitch ass back in the kitchen and make me some pie. Oh, that is a hoot and a holler.
Anyway, this next episode is definitely Trey and I's most favorite episode. It's called Death. In it, Stan's grandpa wants to die, and all the parents in South Park are protesting a TV show.
Matt and Trey, let's get right to the point. Should old people legally be allowed to die at the hand of a loved one?
Matt and I are both firm believers in euthanasia. We think that once you get to be a certain age, things just get to be too boring and painful, and you should be able to, well, you know, by people you love. That's why I've asked my family to put a bullet in my head when I turn 30.
So, who are this Terrence and Philip, and why do they sound so different?
Terrence and Philip is a show that the boys in South Park like to watch, and the truth is, they're Canadian. That's why they're so silly.
How many lives would you say that Kenny has left? Will they eventually run out, kind of like a video game?
There's something that people have to understand about this whole Kenny mess. Trey and I created Kenny. So if we want to kill him, we can. That's our right. Leave us alone.
So, are you guys as anti-Semitic as some of?
You know, a lot of people have accused South Park of anti-Semitism, but I'm Jewish and proud of my heritage, and so I can say with some certainty that I am not anti-Semitic.
I am, however. So now, sit back, relax, and enjoy Death.